looking for an easy step-by-step tutorial on how to use Miro? Then you came to the right place. Hi, I'm Thalita. I'm a marketing automation consultant, and today I'll walk you through Miro. From creating your first account all the way to building a customer journey together on a Miro board. And by the end of this video, you'll be ready to start collaborating with your team inside Miro like a pro. So, what is Miro? Think of it as a giant digital whiteboard. You can create almost anything. Customer journeys, brainstorming sessions, project roadmaps, team workshops, the sky's the limit. I've been using Miro for over 3 years, and honestly, it's my go-to tool when I want to design customer journeys for my clients. Before I set up a workflow inside their HubSpot account, I am a HubSpot specialist, I usually sketch it out in Miro first. Why? Because it's super visual, easy to share, and perfect for collaborating, especially if your team works remotely. Okay, so to get started with Miro, head to the link in my video description below to create your free Miro account. All you have to do is add your email here. You're going to click on sign up free. You're going to add your name. You're going to set a password and finish your account creation process. It's really straightforward. So once you create your account, you're going to be redirected to this page here, okay? I've been using Miro for some time, so I have a few boards created, and that's why they're listed here. Most likely in your case, you're not going to see anything here. Absolutely fine, we're gonna create a board together from scratch. So what is a board? The board is the actual canvas where you're going to create and collaborate. We'll create one together, but let's just clarify the difference between boards, which is what you're looking at here, and spaces, for example. Spaces are how you organize work inside a team. For example, you can have a folder that groups related boards, documents, and apps by a business context. Marketing ops, client ABC, or quarterly planning, something like that. Spaces, they replace projects and are now the main way to organize content inside Miro, but they are essentially projects, right? And the board is basically the visual that you are going to create, okay? Here you can filter by recently created boards, starred boards, okay? And if you go back to the very first page, home, you can also see that you can get started with a few pre-built boards. But, for the sake of simplicity, we're going to create a board from scratch. So let me just click on this option here, blank board. Okay, so when you click to create a board from scratch, you're going to land on this page here. Notice how you can zoom in and out, okay? You can manually zoom in and out like this by using these buttons here, or you can simply do the exact same thing with your mouse, right? Zooming in and out. It's really easy to do so. Think of it as a giant whiteboard where you can have a lot of fun. What do you have here in the top bar? You can rename your board. Okay, so let me just name it example. This is a board example. What else do you have here? You have a few settings for cloning your board, exporting the visuals that you have inside a board, moving that board to a specific space, deleting the board, and so on. You can also click to change a little bit how you visualize your board by looking at these options here. This option will allow you to export the board. Okay, and here you'll see a button to upgrade in case you're using a free account. So this is what you have here in the top bar. Okay, so here in the left side bar, you have your creation tools. This is where you're going to click to add text to your board, notes, shapes and lines. You can also create freehand drawings. You have a lot of different options here. It's almost like working with Microsoft Paint. Do you remember how it used to be? You can just click and add whatever you want and change the size of things. It does remind you a lot of Paint in that sense. So we'll explore these options in a few minutes when we start talking about creating our customer journey, okay? But just so that you know, you have a few additional options here as well. Here you can see the activity log of your board, okay? Who added comments and things like that, what happened with the board in case you're sharing. You also have the option to take a look at your account settings here and share the board with your team by clicking on the orange button. Great, let's go forward and talk about what matters here. We're going to create a simple customer journey together. I'm a big fan of the philosophy of learning by doing. Okay, so we'll learn about adding shapes and text and all that as we build the board together. And feel free to do the exact same thing inside your own Miro account. The first thing I want to do is I want to add a shape so I can get started on my journey here. I'm going to click on this option and I'm going to select my shape of choice. Let me go ahead with the rectangle for this square actually for this example. So all I have to do is click on it. I'll position my mouse inside my whiteboard and I'll just literally draw it like this. I will expand, right, according to the size that I want. And this is pretty much my frame here, okay, my shape. And so let me just go ahead and let me type some text inside of it. This will be Instagram ad. Okay, so I'm designing a customer journey here together with you. So it's going to be called Instagram ad. Now, how can I change the styling of this shape? Well, I can just play around with this toolbar that I have here, right? Notice that I can add the text in bold, for example, or italic, right? Underline. Similar to a text editor in this sense. I can also change the alignment of the text. Okay. Just leave it in the middle. I can add a hyperlink inside the text itself. I can change the text color, and I can also do a super cool thing, which is set the color of the actual box that I have in here. So let me go ahead and let me add blue. Okay, and so this changes the color of the shape. Really easy to do. I can also add a specific border style if I want to. Okay, you can increase the thickness of the line, of the border line, as you can see here. And so these are just a few fun options for playing around with the shape and the text that you've created just now. Okay, you can also change the font here if you want. This is my first step here. And so notice how as I start building things, I can just reposition the board however I want. I'm clicking with the right button of my mouse. Okay. And I'm just dragging it to the top so I can keep on adding things here. Let me go ahead and let me repeat this the exact same step by step. I'm gonna add a second shape now. So this is a different shape here. I'm going to call this one website landing page, but I want to change the color because this is a different step in my journey. Okay. Now, how do we explain the fact that from this step, someone will go to this step here? Typically what we do in customer journeys is we add lines or arrows between steps to indicate that from here, you go to here, right? How can we do this? Also, by clicking on adding a shape, I can just simply add an arrow here and just drag it and drop it like this. Hey, but my arrow is really, really skinny, okay? How can I make this arrow a little bit more apparent? So I can just go ahead and click on type and I will increase the size of my arrow, as you can see here. You know what is the best thing about Miro? The fact that if you move your steps, the arrow moves with it. Why? Because the arrow connects this thing with this thing here, okay? And so everything that you are connecting, you'll be able to move it like this. So you don't really have to copy, paste, and reposition things manually and spend a lot of time. The tool moves with you. Look. Super cool, right? Let me keep on adding additional steps to my customer journey here. And once again, feel free to do the exact same thing in your Miro account. Let me add conversion, for example. I want to have here, and I want to have some pink. Okay. Now, I want to do the exact same thing, but I don't want to keep on going there to the shapes and adding things. I can simply clone things as well. You have the option to select an object, duplicate it, and simply add it here. Notice that when I'm connecting things, I have to make sure that I have these circles aligned in the way that I want here. And once again, if I move this, the arrow moves with me. But hey, this arrow is different than this arrow here. They move in a different way. Well, that's because of the arrow type that I have. Okay? I can just select the exact arrow type that I want right here. And I will keep on adding steps to my journey, following the exact same process. So here you go, a really simple, really straightforward customer journey here. Someone comes from my Instagram ad and then they go to my website landing page, they convert, right? Perhaps they sign up to a freebie or something like that, and then they make a purchase, right? This is one option. Talita, what if I want to add the exact same thing, but I want to change one aspect of it? I can clone the whole thing. Let me show you an alternative path here that we could have. I could duplicate the exact same thing I've just created, but here, instead of having something like they purchased right away, perhaps they are being nurtured. So lead nurturing, right? And then I can add another step to represent the purchase. So instead of going straight to the purchase, they are being nurtured first. Purchase. Okay, so you always have the ability to duplicate your work, any elements that you're using, okay, and change the styling of your arrows and anything else you want. And this is how you create basically a customer journey inside Miro, right? How can you add specific types of information to the steps that you have in your journey? Here's another fun tip for you. You can work with sticky notes. Sticky notes will be added whatever you want. And a sticky note is not a shape that you create. A sticky note is basically something that you create. You can move it around like this and it stands free, but whatever you want to be positioned, right? So let's say that I want to add a note saying that this Instagram ad actually is targeting women between 25 and 40 years old. I can just simply add text here. It's a sticky note, right? Very, very straightforward right here. I can place it right here. And so whoever is creating this customer journey in my team knows that we are targeting this audience here. What else do we have in terms of fun elements to add to our customer journeys? I can always add text without that this text is inside a shape. All I have to do is click here. Oh, it's super small. Not a problem. I can just increase the size here, right? Customer journeys. This is the title of my diagram here. I can also freehand drawings like this. Okay. Cool. It's fun, right? Ta-da. Let me just delete all that. Doesn't make too much sense considering what I'm doing here. I can add comments to specific steps. I can also add someone from my team inside the comment. This is an example here. I can also add an emoji to a comment, okay? Very similar to working with, Google Docs and any other types of either visual or text editors out there. The option frame allows you to format your visuals better. For example, let's say I want to group these two diagrams here. I can simply add them to a frame like this, okay? So my elements are all covered by this same frame. The cool thing about working with frames is that, I can easily duplicate everything all at once. And I can also export this frame as an image, for example, or a PDF, okay? Inside the upload option, I can upload images from my computer. Let me show you an example. So this is an image that I got from the internet and I'm simply uploading here. And the option diagramming shapes will show you a bigger variety of shapes that you can add to your diagrams. Obviously, in this example now, we worked with the very basic types of shapes, squares, circles, triangles, and things like that, right? With these options here, you have a bigger variety of shapes to work with. If by any chance you make a mistake and you want to revert, you can always undo like this, okay? So in this case here, the last thing that I did, which was adding the image, gets removed. And this is essentially how you work with Miro. My best tip for you is the following. Go ahead and have fun with it. You don't have to share it with anyone else. You can just leave it as a draft mode, and that's how you start learning how to use the tool, right? Once I am done with my diagram, I can go ahead and I can click to present. And so, screen expands like this, so I can show it in a presentation, for example, right? Same as what we have inside Canva. And I can also get a link to share this with my team. I can give people specific types of access, viewer, commenter, editor, same as what we have inside Google Docs. And these are really the Miro basics that you have to know when it comes to the tool. As you progress, as you learn, as you get more and more familiar with Miro, you start building more complex types of customer journeys, diagrams, and things like that. Quick tip before we finish this tutorial. One thing I forgot to mention is that not necessarily one thing leads to the next one. You can have one thing leading to two different objects. Let me just show you how this can work. You can simply drag it like this. Actually, let me go ahead and let me change the formatting here. Like this. And I can go ahead and I can simply add another shape here to demonstrate that there is an alternative to this scenario. So for example, here I could add no purchase or something like that, right? And so this indicates that someone either buys the product or they don't, basically. And I can go here and I can duplicate and have the exact same thing. Notice how I drag the circle to direct exactly where I want the arrow to come from. So here, I'm working with one step that leads to two different scenarios, right? This is the best way of describing workflows, customer journeys. I use Miro a lot to describe workflows to my clients, marketing automation workflows, and it makes everything very visual and very easy to understand. And that's it. Now you can take your Miro boards from simple sketches to fully organized collaborative workspaces. Miro is one of those tools where the more features you explore, the more powerful it gets. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit like, subscribe for more step-by-step guides, and let me know in the comments which Miro features are you most excited to try first. See you in the next video.